What's up, narrative breakers? Congress just passed a $110 billion spending bill, which also gave them a $70,000 salary increase. Now, this is some of the most blatant corruption that you've seen, and we have statements from congressmen that are claiming that they don't even know what's inside this bill, which speaks volumes of the problems of the political state of America and how badly we need a transition from this incoming Doge initiative that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy is bringing to stop government spending. It is absolutely disgusting, and to bring it in right before Christmas, they typically do this is try to force politicians to sign these bills to push them into power that don't represent the American people, but they want to get back home to their families. They literally keep our politicians hostage, and it's time for it to be exposed.
You know, Mr. Speaker, you've got a very slim majority right now, a slim majority in the new Congress next year. Do you have any concerns that this deal will impact the vote for your speakership to continue, or might this cost you the gavel?
No, I don't think it will. I mean, look, we have a series of difficult choices, and it doesn't matter who the speaker is. We'd be facing the same exact dilemma. We tried to navigate this as best as possible and chosen the least of the bad options in front of us. No one wants to spend $110 billion, but when you have emergencies that are actually, you know, as they're legally called acts of God, these are not man-made disasters, they're outside of our control, and there's a certain principle that the federal government has some role to play. So we don't like that. We don't like spending money. But in a case like this, you know, to be frank, it would be the red states that are left out. It would be the...
But I would like for them to break it down. You're saying the red states would be left out in the spending bill. Why do y'all present the spending bill days before Christmas? You guys got to understand, and for those that might not be politically inclined enough to know, they will typically introduce these type of situations, introduce these bills right before a massive holiday when people, congressmen, senators, all these people are regular human beings, want to get back home to their families. Had a pretty long year. We all have a long year every year. Let's be real. Problem with that being, they'll tell them, oh, you can't go home till we get this bill done. They'll give them hundreds and hundreds of pages for a spending bill. Give them, 24 hours, sometimes less than that, to review it. There's a problem with the political structure of America. They intentionally will print out all these pages so people don't have the ability to fight it. Now, Johnson, we understand that the House controls the money in America. I'm trying to figure out how can he be the Speaker of the House, act like he's so confused about this spending bill and what's in it and the fact that we had to push it. For us to be in the economy that we in and to be ending 2024 with a bang like this is absolutely disgusting. And I feel like this is an important topic to cover because we're going to see inflation continue to rise. And to be honest with you, things like this need more attention because it's too many times that we focus on the results of these spending bills and not the bills itself. We need to start focusing on the root of the problem. And it's exactly when these people sign this BS and put it in our country and it comes into fruition. Then you have people that deal with the downpour of their bad decisions. Once a bill is passed, people have to deal with the outlash. And it's never pretty. It's typically inflation. It's typically foreclosures. It's typically increased taxes. It's typically less jobs. It's the things that we typically are complaining about, but they have a source. These are the sources. And we have to stop allowing these people to play these games.
Rural areas. You know, Democrats don't have a big priority on the agriculture community because they don't have that in their districts. These are Republican states and Republican districts, and we would be derelict in our duty if we didn't take care of them. So that's the part of this that is uncomfortable for people. We don't like spending money, but we have to do it responsibly.
I also predicted this would fall right before Christmas. And
so this is Republican Congressman Thomas Massie. Great congressman. And he exposed this about the spending bill. And he did it in such a brilliant way. I had to include this here for you guys to see. He did it better than I could. And he broke down the problems with our bills and the way that they're introduced. It's worth the look.
I believe this does fall on December 20th. Now, why have we picked December 20th? Because it's the same reason we always have December 20th. Everybody up here is human. There are no AIs or robots in Congress. And when you get to December 20th, you're 5 days from Christmas. You're 4 days from Christmas Eve. And you desperately want to be there with your family. So this is when the leadership here has the maximum influence, and again, I'm talking to the Democrats and the Republicans, because you've seen it on the Democrat side of the aisle. They love to pick the week before Christmas for this showdown, because you can smell the jet fuel fumes over at DCA. It smells like Christmas, that you're going to get to go home and open presents. I've been in HC5 when literally the Speaker of the House, not the Speaker we have now, walks in and says, if you vote for this, you can go home and unwrap presents with your kids, and if you don't vote for this, you're going to spend Christmas here with Nancy Pelosi. And then the chant starts, vote, 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 vote. Literally, people get enthusiastic to vote for something that they haven't read. So let me predict what we're not going to do on December 20th before I take a guess at what we're going to do. What we're not going to do, we're not going to do 12 separate bills. We are not going to spend this time. We've got a few months between now and December 20th. We could go back to working on appropriations bills. We are not going to do this. This sucker, whatever happens on December 20th, whether it's another CR to punt, to kick the can down the road for 3 more months, or whether it's an omnibus that funds all of government with one bill, it's going to be written behind closed doors.
See?
And every lobbyist in this town is going to try to attach their little thing to this bill. This train is leaving the state.
And that's where the things get so expensive for my Americans that's watching this. It is thanks to the lobbyists that come in and work for these large conglomerate companies. They say, hey, we see that you're just putting out some money. Make sure you include Apple. Make sure you include Facebook. Make sure you include, Plan B. You know, let's get a little bit creative. All these companies, they have lobbyists. I don't care what company you could think of. Boom, they might have they're lobbying. Those same companies come down to D.C. with their hands rubbing each other and their own self-interest at heart. And they go and appeal to these politicians by giving them nice cars. I'm going to tell it. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell it right here. Giving them nice cars, nice houses, nice incentives, while sliming their own people, destroying the American public for their own self-interest. This is what typically happens. They get a massive amount of benefits for working with lobbyists. Lobbyists put their inclusions in the bill, making the bill more expensive. And guess who has to pay for it in the end? Taxpayers. So in the end, that means taxpayers just pay for that new Lamborghini that Congressman has. It's a very unfair system.
On December 20th, it's the only one that we know is going to pass. They call it up here must pass legislation. So everybody's going to try and get their little thing on this bill, whatever it is on December 20th, whether it's another continuing resolution or another omnibus. It's not even really a prediction that I'm making. I'm just telling you what has happened for 12 years, regardless of whether Democrats are in charge or Republicans are in charge. There may be a little twist. We may do half of a CR, it'll be a whole CR, and half of it will end in February, and half of it will end in April, and they'll convince you they got something more clever this year than they had last year. But it's going to be the same old thing, warmed over, written behind closed doors, rolled out here. We're not going to have time to read this thing. That's also predictable. And we're going to be told, vote for this and you can go home and open presents with your kids.
See what they're doing? Like I said, they're holding our politicians hostage. They put this paperwork in front of them and tell them, you sign this, you go home, and you can be with your kids.
Don't vote for it, and you're going to be stuck here. And there will be people, it pulls at heartstrings. We are humans. And that's why I think it's really disingenuous or despicable, really, to pick 4 days before Christmas Eve to put this bill on the floor. The bill I'm talking about, obviously.
Shout out to Thomas. And also to Representative Thomas, condolences to him. In case you guys don't know, his wife had abruptly passed, which is strange to everyone, out of nowhere this year as well. And he's been still going strong despite that loss. My heart goes out to that man, and a tremendous amount of respect for someone that is able to keep their head up after such a traumatic moment in their life. it goes without saying that his strength is needed in 2024, and his strength is needed in this very moment, because it's time for us to cut off the fat. It's time for us not just to cut off the fat, it's time for us to expose where the fat is coming from. And he's breaking it down. He's breaking down. This is what I love about politicians. When they can say, hey, America, this is why you have the problems you have. And he's exposing the whole system. He's saying these people are providing this paperwork to us days before Christmas. And they're pretty much telling us we can't go be with our families until we sign this paperwork and go on with our day. He is exposing how they keep some of the most powerful people in the entire world hostage, thanks to their obligations to their home.
Obviously, nobody here knows what it is yet. And we're not going to have time to read it, but people are going to be inclined to vote for it because they just want to be with their family.
We don't have a choice. We have to fund those. We have to fund FEMA. We have to fund our farmers.
Right. And Mr. Speaker, it's not just, so you've got a bunch of Republicans who are angry at you. They don't like this. And just in a couple of weeks, you're going to stand once again to run for Speaker of the House. And you don't need a bunch of Democrats mad at you. But you know, and this is breaking news you do not know. You know who also does not like this? Elon Musk, the world's richest.
So here is Mike Johnson responding to Elon saying that he doesn't like the bill, which is going to be in charge of determining if our government is spending our funds appropriately.
Man just tweeted, this bill should not pass. The only way you're going to be able to pass it now, Mr. Speaker, is with Democrats. If you could, what's your message to Elon Musk?
Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together. And I was explaining to them the background of this. And Vivek and I talked last night about almost midnight. And he said, look, I get it. He said, we understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that. Remember, guys, we still have just a razor-thin margin of Republicans. So any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either. We got to get this done because here's the key. By doing this, we are clearing the decks, and we are setting up for Trump to come in.
You say you don't like it either, Speaker Mike Johnson, and this is the thing where the American people are tired. You see, these things were easier for us to accept when we didn't understand the inner workings of the systems. You got a 30-year-old black dude with dreads that understand the inner workings of the systems now. It just ain't what it was. You can't just gaslight the American people. We know you can do something about it. We understand it's the lobbyists. We understand it's the foreign interests that have something to come back for you guys on the back end. We know. You can't just tell us we don't like it either. Now, what I would like to see is for Speaker Mike Johnson to show us the text messages with him and Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. I bet he won't do it. I bet he won't do it because he's going to break down, well, you guys, you know, majority of the bill is most of my backers that put me in. And most of our comrades put us in, you know, so we have to push the bill so we can make sure they get paid again. He can't show you that part. I bet that's the part that he won't show.
Bring back with the America First agenda. That's what we're going to run with gusto beginning January 3rd when we start the new Congress, when Republicans, again, are in control. And all of our fiscal conservative friends, I'm one of them, will be able to finally do the things that we've been wanting to do for the last couple of years. Right now, Democrats still control the pens. And that's the problem. So we got to get this thing done so we don't have the shutdown, so we get the short-term funding measure, and we get to March where we can put our fingerprints on the spending. That's when the big changes start, and we can't wait to get there.
Right.
Of course. I mean, it's just swamp's going to swamp, right? 1,400 pages. Still haven't seen the text. Multiple subject matters. Important healthcare legislation in the context of extenders piled on the back of a 3-month CR with about $110 billion unpaid for, $25 billion healthcare policy, half of which is fake pay for, being sold that is paid for because they're gimmicks and shuffling around the decks. Things like E15, which we didn't even have a full debate on.
And this is United States Representative Chip Roy, for people that don't know. He's a representative over in Texas.
This is not the way to do business, right? And so, you know, we said we'd do something different. And since we've been given the majority again, we're adding $30 billion in literally totally unpaid for additional deficit spending just since November 5th in 45 days. I don't see how that's doing what we're supposed to be doing.
How much of the blame falls on the speaker?
Yeah, I mean, right now we'll keep trying to move forward. The conference itself owns this, right? And the conference needs to decide whether we're actually serious about spending. And they talk about, well, we got to do mandatory spending reform and bend the curve. But we just voted on a $200 billion shift of dollars in Social Security that's going to shorten the time when Social Security expires or it goes.
It's obvious these people don't care about Social Security anymore. It's pretty obvious to me. I think we've all pretty much started to accept that Social Security is just, it's done.
We're just fundamentally unserious about spending. And as long as you got a blank check, you can't shrink government. If you can't shrink government, you can't live free.
Do you plan on supporting the speaker in January?
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me. It's good news. You know, what has it been, 10 years or 14 years of no COLA, no change at all? I think it's about time something's done.
You support giving yourselves a pay raise?
How would I not know about a pay raise?
But I mean, people look at the performance of Congress and say, why should we give them more money?
Now, mind you, this is a Democrat that's getting a pay raise. The first pay raise since 2009, thanks to this bill I touched in the intro. This Democrat lawmaker right here, Dick Durbin, Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois. Of course, it's Illinois. If you guys have been watching my YouTube, you would know I've been covering Illinois pretty heavily for a few reasons. But to get into this, Dick Durbin has said that he doesn't know what's going on in this bill. He's literally flabbergasted, confused. We have an active lawmaker that's approving of something he doesn't even know that's inside of it, but he is happy to understand and figure out that he's getting a pay raise from it. This says everything that's wrong with the current state of America. These people can screw us while taking care of themselves without even understanding the gravity of how much we're screwed. If you don't think it's time for a change, you could possibly be the problem.
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but I mean, half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Well, I mean, your taxpayer money. I mean, you guys deserve a raise.
Yo, what's going on? Why does this dude staring at us like that?
And Durbin essentially said that, yes, they should give themselves a raise. And but also is noticeable, though, to Jim, he wasn't aware that this was in the provision. Yeah. And he's the number 2 Senate Democrat. It just shows you how this was negotiated among a handful of members, and they're going to have...
And I can't believe I left it out. He's number 2 Senate Democrat, number 2 in charge, guys. And he doesn't know what the hell is going on. That's worrying to me. I mean, we don't know what's going on with the drones. We don't know what's going on with our own money. It's almost like, did our politicians get elected without being qualified? Is that possible?
To vote on this, and members really won't have time to read it either, Jim.
Unreal. But Manu, I have to say, you are worth every penny. Manu Raju up on Capitol Hill for us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's discuss.
The whole thing with this guy is kind of awkward. What is he? He's worth every penny. Did they purchase this individual that was staring at us?
More now with Republican Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee. Congressman, thanks for being here this morning.
So I added this in here. Oh, this is funny. I forgot I added this, guys. Oh, God. So listen, the spending bill information is absolutely insane. And I just remember why I added this clip. And I was going to say that it is so sad that we are in an era where these people are destroying the country in the White House, right, with the spending bill, with the drone propaganda, with the division, and yet they can have a Christmas party in the safe confines of the same building, the White House, the same night, and have Hunter Biden, which has been pardoned by the President of the United States, partying at the time of his life with Democrat influencers and exchange his phone number with freaking Flavor Flav. America is a parody. Dude, why is Hunter Biden with Flavor Flav? Hell, why are both of these niggas not in jail? I don't care. Anyone that close to Hunter Biden should not be free. And they are laughing as they strike us down. It's poetic.
I'm gonna need that. Yes, I know. Nightmare. But I actually saw before I came that that's what I wanted to vote for. That's all I wanted in life.
Where are you thinking now?
Look at this. Having the time of their life. Literally, while the country is on fire. I'm going to give you my number. That's what Hunter just said. If you guys rewind just right there. So I'm going to give you my number. Hunter Biden has been living the life that every American could only envy. I mean, come on. You get millions of dollars. You get to spend your life in the White House. You get to pretty much be absolved of all of your crimes. And then at the end of it all, you come back. Well, you leave the White House richer than you ever been, more famous than you ever been, Secret Service, permanent Secret Service, guys. And in addition to all these things, you get to have a going away party, a Christmas party. I mean, bro, it's the greatest, like, happy ending ever. Like, bro, Hunter Biden is freaking living the American dream. I want to be Hunter. Like, bro, I want to be this man. Look, he's happy. I want to be him so bad because he is everything that Americans should aspire to be, obviously. He's living a life better than most Americans that follow the rules. So, hell, we all should break the law and do crack. Why not? Why not? You obviously get awarded for it. And Harry Sisson, this is the same individual that claimed Trump was a criminal. For 4 years, standing beside a real criminal, smiling ear to ear. This stuff is hypocritical. I'm sick and tired of these people. And we have to end this with this. Birds of the feather smoke crack together. This entire party is laughing at America. All of these people that took pictures with Hunter Biden swore up and down that he would never get pardoned. Now he's pardoned. He's such a great person. Hunter's the coolest guy ever. Oh my God, I love the guy. They don't care about being right. They just want to win. Whatever winning is to them, they want to win, they want to win, they want to win. And if that means the country has to lose, then winning is enough for the left. Please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. If you guys can't tell, I'm feeling a whole lot better on this video compared to my other ones. We might be back in action. We might not. The only way to tell that really is how these numbers do, because the last ones, it could have been better. But we'll see. See you on my next video. Click the notification bell to stay updated.